Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and I'm here for a little mess in Vlogmas. Originally, I just had a couple things for this and then I asked for some feedback from Patreon. So I added theirs to my list, and it is a list of what you ask. I'll tell you. Things we do not need to take with us into 2026, bookish edition. I know I'm wishful thinking with a lot of these, but they have to be said. Honestly, they shouldn't have made it as far as 2025, but they did. So clock strikes midnight. Okay, January 1st, 2026. That doesn't even sound real, but it is a real date, apparently. I don't want to hear no more of this. I don't want to see no more of this, okay? So I have a list. If I think of any other ones, I'll just add them in here, but let's get sorted. Wait, hello. First, I wouldn't say an ad from a sponsor because it's not an ad, but it is a plug for myself because I am hosting another trip next year. If you have seen on the community tab or you follow me on Instagram, then you saw that I announced that I'm going to Iceland, which is crazy. Next September, the dates will be down below or on the screen because I can't remember at the moment, but the trip is confirmed. So it is definitely happening. There are 5, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots left for the trip. I'm very excited. So to confirm your spot, you do have to pay 25% up front. That confirms your spot. Again, I can put the math on the screen because I can't think of it offhand, but I just wanted to mention that here in case you were out of the loop, you didn't get an email, didn't hear about it, and you did want to go. The link below will have where you can book, but also it'll have all the information. So the dates, all of the things that are included, what's not included, all of the activities for the itinerary. So you can check all of that out. Just wanted to plug that here in case you missed the news. And I might have something else coming next week. Stay tuned. Hello, we're back. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns, aka the foolishness that's been happening for too long. Let's defeat it and let's keep it in this year and not take it forward. Okay, we're gonna start off. This is what actually made me think of this entire video was one person. I'm gonna see if I can find the post from Threads. They're not unique in saying this, but this was just the latest iteration of this fuckery that I'm so sick of seeing. And I was like, I'm going to make a video about this. And so I'm starting here and then I'm going to just continue. But this person, hot take, but I'm tired of seeing people posting their monthly wrap-ups saying they read 20 books this month and all but one were audiobooks. I get it. And I'm insanely jealous that you can listen to audiobooks and retain any information you hear, but also you didn't read anything. And it creates unrealistic expectations for readers who don't listen to audiobooks to try and keep up with physically reading that much. Like, can't we change it to books finished that month? And I'm calling you out, Breezy Reads. Now, this is never to go attack that person because they've already embarrassed themselves enough. We don't need to add to that. But this is actually 2 things on my list. This whole pity party, woe is me, you guys read so much, please stop sharing. I don't know if y'all have seen that, but if you're on Threads, it is ridiculous. And it's also on TikTok. How often people come onto the internet and are like, oh, you guys, can we normalize not saying how many books we read? Like, you're making other people feel bad. Get a fucking grip. It's like hand in hand with the same, how do you guys read so many books? Are you guys really reading that many books? Like, I have a job and there's no way that you guys can read that many books. Oh, brother, you guys stink.
This is also the energy that y'all give.
Get over yourself. Sure, this year, last year, didn't read as much as I have in previous years. Oh, well, it is what it is. I also do other things. I have other hobbies. I watch a lot of TV. I listen to podcasts. I listen to music. I do other things that just don't revolve around reading. Some people, they only read. They read physical books, audiobooks, they ebook, whatever. Graphic novels, manga, comics. They read a lot. Varying formats, varying types of books. They read a lot. That's like their only form of entertainment. That works for some people. It doesn't work for me. It may not work for you. Or maybe they just read faster. Some people can read faster. I just don't. Why are we still discussing this? How do you go? It's one thing to be sitting at home minding your own business and you're like, dang, they've already read 120 books this year. I wish I could. Oh well. for whatever reason you wish you could. But no, you come onto the internet and you wah, 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 woe is me. Can we please normalize not saying how many books we read? And then this person also with their dumbass shit of, you didn't read, you listened to an audiobook. Y'all are trying to raise my blood pressure. Stop with this foolishness. If you can't interpret, you can't follow, you can't pay attention to an audiobook, so sorry for you. That is not the truth for some other people. And again, these are the things where, is every single person like the same? No. I'm sure there are people who just put an audiobook on 3 point whatever just to get through it and may catch some words here or there. That's not the majority of people. I go through phases where I'm really into audiobooks, and that is how the majority I'm doing my reading. And then sometimes I can't pay attention, so I have to read them physically. So that means I may read less that month. Oh, well. Oh my God. We have got to stop. And I'm like, when we were still on book Twitter, I was like, these have to be troll accounts. This, because it's cyclical. It's fucking every year, at least quarterly, we have these fucking discussions. But no, it's moved to Threads. It's also on Book Talk. It's ridiculous. Get over yourself. If you want to figure out how to read more, you need to do a self-audit and see if there's things you can remove for your life to put in more reading. So do that instead of coming on the internet, wasting our time, taking up space on my feed with your foolishness. And also, maybe slow down the audiobook. Maybe you can't be like a big dog. Maybe you can't do a 2 times speed. Maybe you can't do 1.75. Maybe you can't do 1.5. That's fine. There's 1.0 speed for a reason. Maybe give that a try. And maybe you do things that don't also take focus, like folding laundry, very like activities that are a physical thing, but you don't have to think about a lot, so you can actually focus on the audiobook. Maybe do that. Maybe check on yourself. See what you can do for yourself instead of coming to the internet and making it our problem and making other people who are doing normal things, who are just reading and sharing what they're reading, making them feel bad because they can read faster than you. Boo-hoo, bitch. Whew. Okay. That originally was just going to be a video in itself, but obviously there's more. But that's what really kicked this all off. Get it together. Next, AI. Generative AI, okay? I don't want to see it writing a book. I don't want to see it for a book cover. I don't want to see it in your promotion, okay? I don't want to see it. Writing, art, writing is art. Also, cover creation is an artistic endeavor. People like to say, because I already know the people who are like, well, people who have a disability, it helps. Don't do that. Don't do that. People have been creating art for decades, millennia without help, and people of various abilities. Okay. Don't do that. Well, some authors may not have the I would rather a cheaply made cover on free edition of Canva, not even Canva Pro, free edition of Canva, than some AI generative mess. Okay? Okay. So I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it in your promotion. I don't want you typing in whatever to these prompt thingies and making your characters, like making AI videos of your characters. I don't want to see it. And you being Black does not give you a pass. Yes. Black people have been marginalized, and it's harder for us to get in publishing and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Not diminishing that, but no, you don't get a pass. Don't use AI. And this is not to throw, actually, it's throwing a little shade to Black Romance Book Festival. Not too much shade, because I love their mission. I love what they're doing. It looks like people are having a great time. But I did not like the conversation that was happening on Threads around AI and how they were like not, their stance was like, basically, AI bad, but we're not going to ban anyone. We're not going to make like a hard line that if you have AI, like cover or whatever in your book, like you're banned from the festival. And that's their choice, right? I don't agree with that. Some other people didn't. I didn't like that. I feel like you should have a hard line that no generative AI. I feel like all kind of festivals, conventions, whatever, no generative AI slop be selling with people who are actually making things, spending their time writing, actually creating art should not be allowed. So that's my only gripe with them there. But yeah, I don't want to see it. And it just hurts my heart, because if you're using If you're using AI, generative AI, to promote your book, I'm going to assume, I know that's dangerous to assume. I'm going to assume, though, in this case, that you also used it to write your book. Because why wouldn't I? If you couldn't take the time to either seek out an artist, because there are plenty on Threads who have very reasonable rates, Fiverr, we have the internet at our fingertips, right? If you wanted to commission an artist, you can. They're all not super expensive. Or again, a very simple cover made in Canva for free. So if you couldn't take the time to do that, why would I think that you took the time to write your book? And I don't want to read it. And I'm not apologizing for that. I'm standing on that. 10 toes down. Huh. Shadow daddies. Now, I don't have as strong feelings about this one because I really don't read that much romantasy, but I do enjoy fantasy. I do enjoy romance. And that seems like that's all we're getting now. So sometimes I still am intrigued by a new book that comes out that's marketed as romantasy. But why is every man a shadow daddy? Please! These are fictional stories. Make up some other shit. There's other ways to write a sexy fictional man. He doesn't need to be a shadow daddy. The female character also doesn't need to be so weak, or, oh my gosh, she's so powerful, but she just doesn't know how powerful she is. Or, I know trends are a thing. And so romantasy is a big one right now, but you can still do that and be original. So please, let's let the shadows rest, because I's tired and I would like to give another romantasy a try, but I'm not reading no more goddamn shadow daddies. Okay? Wrap it up. Sorry. Whew. Marketing books incorrectly. That's very vague, but it does a disservice to the author and to the reader. And I don't know why this happens, but my particular example with this is things being marketed as dark academia. If it's a dark academia story, sure, the darkness, which is usually a murder, secret society, some kind of plot, okay, but I need them to go to class. How is there dark academia? There ain't no academia going on. Where are the academics? I want that to be a part of the story. And of course, this is, to me, some people just need it set at a school, and that's what they're calling it. Not in my book, honey. I need the studies to matter, not only for them to go to class. I want the studies to be in an integral part of the story. You know what I mean? Because that's what I want from dark academia. Like, it's specifically about these students in this cohort learning this thing, or this one class that's really weird with this weird professor. I want them to go to class and the class to matter. That's just me. But in general, marketing of books, I think, just needs to be better so that people have the right expectations, so the right story can get to the right reader. And then again, that's the better for the reader and for the author. So people aren't coming to the story thinking it's going to be this, I don't know, let's say epic love story or something, and it's really just a literary fiction book with like a subplot of this. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking of any book in particular when I'm saying that. I'm just thinking of just marketing. I want it to be more intentional, more accurate. Thank you. Sprayed edges on everything. There was a time, gather round if you're new here. There was a time when sprayed edges meant something. It was rare. Sorry, Robin. It was rare. It was unique. It was, limited edition. 10-year anniversary edition. Special, rare. Every other goddamn book has sprayed edges now. It doesn't mean anything. And then it went from sprayed edges to stenciled edges. Everybody got that too. It's not beautiful anymore. Now I'm actually annoyed because so many are done. They're like cheaply done. Also, be bleeding on the pages. I don't like that. On that same vein, I know this is not going to happen. I think this is one that one of my patrons submitted. So I'll wait to get there. We'll come back. Okay. Telling people they can't talk about books they don't like. I think Ray submitted this one, which is, oh my God. We all have opinions, right? And our opinions are formed from our backgrounds, from our lived experiences, from our current lives, things that are going on. We all make our individual choices of what we will support, what we will read. If you have a platform, you make decisions on what you will share with your audience and what you won't. However, you can, but I don't think you should be telling people what not to read. And not in girl, that book was ass, don't read that. Because some people are still going to read it. You put up a rant review. Sometimes that drives people to read it. They may love the book. You may put up a review gushing about how much you love the book. Some people are like, oh, all of those things you said, actually, I would hate it. Maybe they hate read it. Telling people what to and what not to read, we shouldn't do that. But especially the what not to read. You can make recommendations. Some people come to you and you're like, well, I read this book. If you're like me, you probably won't like the la 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 la. And some people are like, okay, maybe I'll just get that one from the library. I won't rush to read it. I'm not going to buy it. I'd like to read it eventually, but it's like not at the top of my list. But when people are like, if I see you talking about this book, you should not be reading this book. If you read this book, you are insert terrible things. It's like, you guys, and I'm not even going to waste my breath with all the caveats I could add, because the people who get it, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. And I'm not wasting my breath to try to explain to you why that's a bad thing, okay? Especially in a world where people are in a country, United States, trying to censor books and get them banned from public libraries, from school libraries, okay? Let's just think about that, all right? Let's use our critical thinking skills, kids. Crashing out when a bookish event you want to attend sells out. I think I mentioned this in a video maybe a couple of months ago. It was like, what is going on? Because I think this was around the time that the Black Romance Book Festival tickets were going on sale. And then also BookCon was coming back and their tickets were going on sale. And at first with the Black Romance Book Festival, people were shitting on them on how expensive their tickets were. They're actually very normally priced. And then the tickets sell out and then people are mad. I'm like, now, of course, I don't have the exact proof if those are the same people, but it's like, you guys, events have capacity. They rent out venues, then they have to look at how many people they can actually have in there. And that's not including and that's just the attendees. It's not including the authors, author assistants, like staff who are working at the event. It's like concerts. We don't get to go to everything. Things sell out. Unfortunately, it is unfortunate that websites freeze and things act up. And when everyone's trying to get onto one website at the same time and the traffic is too much, it sucks. Trust. I've been there. But like, what do you want the companies to do? You're like, we want you to actually rent out 10 venues in Atlanta. And so we all can come and actually also have it for 6 weekends in a row. And the same authors at everything so they can be burnt out and exhausted. But at least I got to go. It just does not work like that. So y'all need to chill out. Same thing that happened with BookCon. They're like, well, they've got the Javits Center. Why don't they have the whole space? And they did end up getting more space in the Javits Center and they released more tickets that also sold out. So again, unless there is some way to accommodate every single person, every single reader that wants to go to these events, which, spoiler alert, there's not. So you're just some people are going to get lucky and some people are going to miss out. That's just life. That's just life. Have y'all not bought a ticket for anything else before? What? Y'all must not have been on the internet when we were on Bookstagram, just in the trenches trying to get candles. Girl, grow up. Giving one book 47 special editions. This is what I was going to speak on earlier because they're no longer special. Okay. Back in the day, the golden age, books got special editions 10th, 20th, 25th anniversary. Okay. Their books had come out. They had a fan base. They're well loved. Here is a special edition of them. And we have lost the plot because now before a book even comes out, before we even know the author, special edition. And it's not just one. Here's the Target edition. Here's the Barnes & Noble edition. Here's the Walmart edition. Here's the Fairy Loot. Here's the Illumicrate. Here's the Owl Crate. edition. Here's Book of the Month has one, Fae Crate has one, Bay Crate has one, Hay Crate has one. Okay, now I'm exaggerating, but essentially it's really like a book is coming out and there's 10 to 12 editions of it. They're not special anymore. They're just different iterations, and it's just like, ugh. And I say this as somebody before who, trying to gotta catch them all with certain books that I love, but it's like you can't do that with every book. I mean, I guess some people you can do what you want, but it's just like, it just takes away from it. And not like, I don't think debut authors deserve pretty things. I'm just saying, like, they spend so much money on this. And again, I don't know how that works on the publishing side, but it's like, let's focus on what's inside the book. Like, how do we make the book its best so that it is well loved and becomes good enough to need a special edition? I don't know. There's nothing wrong with a beautiful cover art, but we don't need this many variations of them. And obviously it's not every single book, but it's pretty ridiculous at this point. Lastly, changing the book cover when it goes from self-pub to trad-pub and never completing the original cover design. So the only way you have a matching set is if you buy the new version of the first books. That's a good one, because that's fucking annoying. And that goes for cover changes in general. Not even just from indie to trad pub. Sometimes series are coming out and they're not finished. And then, like, let's say the fourth book finally comes out. They've changed the cover. You have the first 3 books in the original cover, and now the fourth one's in a different cover, and they're never releasing it in the original one. Why are y'all doing that? Why do y'all hate us? Okay? Come on. Y'all pay so much attention to the aesthetically pleasingness of a book and sprayed edges and all of these things and covers, but you don't think we want matching sets? Actually, we do. And you're like, well, they'll just have to buy them all again. It's very annoying. And I had another thought, and it escaped me. Hold, please. Oh, the thought was also with the indie to trad pub, let's say it's a series and the series isn't completed, but all these book boxes are doing special editions of the uncompleted series. Penn Cole, sorry, not the same. Tilly Cole, we don't like her. Penn Cole, that series is not finished. There's a 4th book coming one day. Why are they, and it's not like they're just doing one, they're doing a set. Why are you doing a set when the series isn't finished? Then are you going to release the one book to match the others? Or again, are you going to do a whole set of 4 and then people would have to rebuy the whole thing? What the fuck is the point? It's upsetting to me and my homegirls, aka my patrons. So fix it. Fix it, Jesus. All of this stays in 2025 or next year. I'm gonna get nastier and I'm gonna start coming after people. Don't get on my bad side. Anyway, do you have anything you would like to add to this list? Please put them in the comments so we can collectively wish this all to stay in this year and we can go into 2026 and have a more positive, bright, fun experience here on the Bookternet. That's all I want. Thank you so much for watching. Again, check out the links down below if you're interested in going to Iceland, and keep your eyes on this space or on Instagram for more information coming next week. Okay, stay blessed, hydrated, moisturize, and sunscreen. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Oh, O'Reilly Auto Parts. Boo-hoo, bitch.